Blessed are we witches. All right, these are the cards of our day for today, February 25th, 2020. I have been waiting. I have been appreciating Mercury retrograde uh, realness because if you hear a little old man hollering or talking or something, that's my grandpa. He decided to show up. So he'll probably be walking in and out, and then the husky's out there howling. Um, and then yeah. If I say hi to someone, it's probably my grandpa. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's funny because I was like getting everything ready. I decided to, pour myself a cup of coffee. I did my workout already. Everything was quiet and fine. And then the minute I decided I was going to do this live, I was going to do this video, windows open, chimes are going. It's nice. It's nice. It's cool outside, but it's sunny. It's nice. And then someone shows up. Noise is had. Just my luck. But it's okay. So these are, well, hello. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, long time no see. These are going to be the cards of our day, cards of inspiration, something we can look at and really pick apart and, allow it to inspire our space. It's 10:31 a.m. here. So still morning, still a lot to get done, a lot to do. But we'll have fun. And remember, this is our reading together. This is our co-creative process. So if you have anything to share as you see a card, as you learn, as if something I say, boom, it inspires you. If something pops into your head, please share. Because again, like I said, this is a co-creative process. This is something that I am expressing, yes, and the cards are coming through, but it's also something that we are creating together. So something that you might say, it might inspire me to go back and forth. It also might inspire someone else who's watching. So what you have to say is absolutely valid and necessary. So if something pops up, please share. Feel free. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you can if you do. This is a safe place for all of us to express ourselves. Hello, Yoli. Hello, Jade. Thank you. Yeah, I chopped it all off, and it's not done. It's not done yet. So it's looking a little messy, but that's okay. A little messy is fine. So take some time, y'all. Take some time to focus in on yourself. Take some time to ground, to find your center. Thank you. Yes, ground, find your center, pay attention to your breathing, pay attention to your heartbeat, give yourself some time to check in with yourself and listen to your spirits, listen to your divine space, your guides, your gods, your ancestors. And when you are ready, pay attention to that first number that does pop into your head. 1, 2, or 3. The first number that pops into your head, listen to it. 1, 2, or 3. You can comment with the number you choose, or you can write it down. It's about your experience, so whatever you prefer. Comment 1, 2, or 3, or just write it down. And realize this is a reading, so all 3 cards are beneficial to us, but because it is a general reading, the card that you focus upon, the reason I do that, the card you focus upon that pops into your head is going to be a focal piece. It's going to be, the dominant influence, dominant energy in your life experience, and the other 2 cards will support it. And that's why we do that, because the general reading is great for all of us to look at, but then this will help fine tune it for your personal situation. So 1, 2, or 3, that first number that pops into your head, go ahead and comment, and we will get into this. And we're working with the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. So hopefully everyone's having a blessed day, blessed experience. And if not, that's okay too. It'll get better. You can create it and learn from it. Okay, all right. Let's see what comes up. All right. Okay. 2 for you. Awesome. Okay, awesome. I love your name. 3 Black Cats, Curios, and Reiki. I love it. Okay, so this cup is super cute, but it's so thick up here. and rounded. It's hard to drink out of without like spilling shit all over you. You know what I mean? So, 1, 2, or 3, the first number that pops into your head. We are working with the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. And initially, what I'm looking at is we have a water card, we have a fire card, we have an air card, which are really cool. Okay, yesterday we had all water cards, right? So today we initiate the reading with air, with water, with cups, with spirituality, with fluidity, with our emotions, and we have no reversals today. So that's always something interesting to look at. So we have cups, and then we have fire. Fire is obviously growth spurts, passion, divine spark. We have aggression, assertiveness. We have passion and lust and sex and all kinds of amazing things with fire. So we have that to think about as we progress in the reading. And then we have a swords card, right? So we have a swords card. And swords are air, intellect, wisdom, movement, right? Movement. I think swords are slightly cunty, not always, and that's not always a bad thing. But slightly cunty, just they're very disconnected at times, detached. Not always disconnected, but detached, and they're able to see things from a different point of view. But their emotions not always in it. Like they mean well. Swords energy can mean very well. But I guess tact is the lack of tact at times with swords. Little blunt, a little harsh. It's all good, right? So we have that to think about as well. So again, 1, 2, or 3, the first number that pops into your head, go ahead and comment, and we will get into this. And again, share your thoughts. Feel free, always feel free. So the first card is what? The nine of cups. The 9 of cups. My hands are cold. The 9 of cups. Okay. So 9 of cups, and remember, 9s herald change. And ask yourself, hey Alex, good to see you. Ask yourself, how does cups make me feel? How do cups make me feel? How does a 9 of cups make me feel? What do I see? What do I connect with? What's coming up for me? And remember, 9s herald change. 9s bring change. So we know that we are initiating the reading with a cups emotional card, emotional spiritual energy, and it's an initiating card. So it's bringing in this sort of emotional spiritual wishful energy. And I like the 9 of cups because it is a change for something insightful. It's a change for something satisfying and something that's really going to pleasure the senses in the experience. I like the 9 of cups here because it is something that brings good news, bring good heart. Can you hear her? I tried telling her you need to stop, and she doesn't listen. So the 9 of cups is, you can see he's very content. He's very, happy. He has his cups. They're all in a row. He's sitting there like appreciating. So we have gratitude associated with this card. He's appreciating his experiences. Yellow can stimulate hunger. Yellow can stimulate attraction. So I like that. Yes, all that yellow is really jumping out at me today. Yes, and it's known that when you see yellow, it stimulates like hunger. So that's something that that hunger for life, that hunger for the desires that you seek to fulfill. And with the 9 of cups coming in, it's saying, look, you have all of these things to be grateful for. So it's a reminder to show gratitude and appreciation for the world that you're in and for what you have, but also focus on your desires, focus on what you want to bring into your life and what you are manifesting, what you are creating, what you're working towards. You can't just sit there, but it is about putting things into action that are in alignment with what you desire to bring into your life. As well, appreciating the things that you have. Appreciate your current bank account. Appreciate your current relationship status. Appreciate your connection to Mercury and your ability to communicate. Even if it's like shit communication right now, learn to appreciate those things so you can create better for yourself, and you learn to accept these things. Like, this is my current experience. I appreciate it. I'm grateful for it. I'm learning and I'm working through it. And I have the ability to alter and shift it, right? And so that's where the Nine of Cups come in. It's a reminder, like, look, you have blessings, you have good stuff in your life, and you have emotional value and emotional worth, and these are great things to experience and great things to hone in on. And as you focus on growing that appreciation and understanding that I do have these things in my life and I can bring this into my life, I'm also focusing more on bringing the abundance, allowing it to flow. And that's where the Nine of Cups comes in. And you are sitting at that space, right? You're sitting there and you're looking and you're like, I got this. I'm good. I am creating an emotionally stable experience for myself. I am manifesting really intense psychic experiences. I am happy. And so with the Nine of Cups as well, it's saying focus on the emotions that you want to bring in. Focus on feeling the experiences that you love. And so it's not just about understanding you can appreciate the things you have, it's also learning to channel the emotions that you desire. And as I'm saying this, I want to also make it very clear, when you channel the emotions you desire, you're not forgetting your current emotional space. So if you're feeling angry, but you also want to feel really good, you can focus on feeling good, but you also learn about your anger. You learn about your appreciation for that space that you're in. Does this make sense? Does that make sense? And so you're learning to look at your anger and to embody it and to experience it and give it its own space, but you're not going to, you choose not to stay there. It's like, okay, I honor this. I accept this about myself. I am angry. This is how I feel right now, but I also know that I can feel better. I can choose to create better. And when I am ready, I get to do that. So it's not about denying any emotion that you experience. It's about embodying all emotions that you experience and appreciating the beautiful gems that come out of each and every emotion, whether we judge it as great and euphoric or whether we judge it as negative and just absolutely terrible. They're all valid and they're all here for us. So I'm not exactly where I'd like to be, but oh my God, I've come so far this past year, and I'm so proud of what I've accomplished for myself and I love that. I am happy for you. I like hearing that and reading that, because it's so important for us to be proud of the work that we've put in, to be proud of who we are, to be proud of the progress. We might not be where we want to be yet, but we can appreciate and know that where we are, we have worked to get to, and it's a stepping stone, and it's always a stepping stone, because as long as we live life, as long as we are here on this physical earth, we are creating and we are progressing and we are working towards something. So we're always learning, we're always growing, and that's a beautiful experience. And so we should be proud of the energy that was utilized to be where we currently are, right? I was told this weekend that I needed to remember why I was working my magic, because I love it and it's fun. It's absolutely fun. So that's card one. So pay mind to that. Oh my God, y'all. Mercury, he's sitting right there and he's laughing at me because my words, don't know what's going on with them, but we'll try to survive this. So the card two is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands. And how does the Knight of Wands make you feel? How does the Knight of Wands make you feel? I need more coffee. So the Knight of Wands, what do you see? What comes forth? The Knight of Wands. And knights offer like a little more of this sort of like growth spurt. It's a little more aged. It's a little more experience. And we know wands, fire and passion and assertiveness and aggression and ecstasy and growth and divine downloads and a lot of cool stuff. Wands, right? Fire energy. And if you look at the cards, the Knight of Wands is charging to the left, and I associate like the left of the card going that way to the left is going back, going to the past. So it's looking back at the Nine of Cups. So we have to remember our passion in our emotions. We have to remember that feeling is very important today. Feeling the things that we are processing is extremely important for us today. And the Knight of Wands is looking back at it. and we have to be mindful not to blend the two as well. Too much fire, we can, boil over. We can, heat up and have a nice bath, or we can boil over and, burn ourselves and cook ourselves. And that's not cute. That is not cute. It's not fun. We can dry all that water up too. So there's so much that needs to be considered here. But we realize, like, if we have passion for what we do, and then we have the emotional response, those two together, absolutely powerful. And so with the Knight of Wands coming through, we look at we it's superimposed on the Nine of Cups. So we realize, like, look, there's some confident energy here, but there's also this awareness. Like, we need to be very, very aware that we can't get too cocky. We can't get too cockiness and arrogant. I think it's just the way that they both look, the dude and the horse. And knights can be a little cocky, so we have to be very aware of that. That's just a general statement, yes, but it's something to be informed about. So Knight of Wands, oh yes, we can't be too cocky, because we want to be humble. We want to be proud of ourselves. We want to be in a good space, but we also need to make sure we're not bragging, because that's not cute. That doesn't make other people feel good. And then if we're bragging, that also comes from a place of feeling some sort of like inferior energy, or there's a fear-based energy associated with that. And so the Knight of Wands is definitely saying, look, be proud, be confident, but be healthy in that confidence. Be healthy in how you are proud of the work that you do, and realize, like, this is also about creating adventures for yourself. And with the Knight of Wands also coming in, it's like, okay, where are you restless in your life? Where are you feeling a little antsy? Where are you like, I have to move, I have to do something? And this something is not necessarily about anything new. It is about something that is associated with your past. So it could be something that's coming up for you from the past, especially with Mercury retrograde Pisces. There's a lot of unearthing. This is unearthing, if you didn't know. There's a lot of unearthing happening, and things being uprooted, and a lot of past stuff coming up. And it could be an experience, it could be a hobby, it could be a business idea. Things of the past are unearthing, that make us emotionally feel something intense. And so the Knight of Wands is looking back and like, look, we got to do this. We got to either work through this. We have to maybe choose to invest again into this project. So there, with the Knight of Wands looking back at the Nine of Cups, it's saying, like, look, our emotions are very important to us. So we have to pay attention to that sort of like restless, antsy feeling, and whatever that is, we need to be mindful of and look at it and assess our situation, so we can do the work necessary to create a better experience. We are being given an opportunity right now to create a better experience for us, and this is something we need to pay attention to. It is about being passionate, but it's also about making sure not to yell at people, making sure not to get too aggressive, be mindful of how we can come across, which I think is a good thing for any day, but during the retrograde of Mercury, even better, because maybe something we say, we didn't mean it a certain way, but it transferred in a very terrible way, and we hurt someone's feelings that we didn't want to hurt their feelings. So that's what's going on with the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is definitely like, we have energy, we're feeling antsy, so pay attention to our emotions. Where is our heart? Where is my heart right now? What is it that I want to do? What do I want to create? What do I want to cultivate? Am I still feeling good about this? Do I still want to connect? Do I still want to do this work? Am I happy here? And Knight of Wands is like, look, we're antsy, so we have to look at this, and where's my emotions coming from? What are they expressing to myself? Pay attention to my emotions, pay attention to my heart, pay attention to what's being expressed here, and then have an adventure, do the work, take action. So when I have the information of what my heart is expressing to myself, and I know I'm paying attention to that restless energy, that now I can create for myself. Now I can have this adventure, and it is an adventure. And I think it's also sharing with us to look at our life as an adventure, as adventurous, as exciting. Even people, this is just an example, but people who are parents, either stay-at-home parents or just parents in general, a lot of parents express, I can never have fun because I have kids. That's absolutely bullshit. That's not true. You can still have fun. Just because you have kids, that does not automatically define you as in you're boring, or people are like, I have a minivan, I'm no longer fun. What happened? I know people joke about that, but it's also some sort of like a mentality thing, a belief thing, where when you have kids, you can't do things. You can't have fun. When you have kids, but you can always have fun. You can always create adventures. And so it's also, sorry, there's a lot of like stuff coming through. It's also this sort of spirit of inspiration being birthed into our experience, where it's asking us to pay attention to what we really love. And if there is dullness in our life, we can create exciting experiences for ourselves. And so what kind of experience do you want to create for yourself? What kind of adventure do you want to have? Whether you have kids, whether you don't have kids, whether you have a boring car or an exciting, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can have fun. You can have adventures. You don't have to brag. You don't have to be too cocky, but you do need to learn how to be assertive in what you're feeling. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, looks like he's off to conquer something. Absolutely. He's looking to conquer his emotional experiences and to conquer and feel that emotion. Absolutely. I'm a Leo. Fire energy sometimes gets ahead of me. I need to keep it in check. I hear you. Leo energy. It's exciting. I was thinking in the morning about the energies in the sky and how to use those energies to transform and refine my strengths. Being assertive but not aggressive came up in a big way. Absolutely, yes. It's important for us to learn how to be assertive and passionate, but not aggressive. There are some situations where we need to be aggressive, but it's also having a sort of divine understanding. And when we are in an emotionally charged and stable experience, being aggressive and assertive, and though from the heart space in a healthy way, can be good, right? Can be good. So card 3, so card 3 follows the Knight of Wands, and what comes in card 3? The 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords. What do you see in the 8 of Swords? How does it make you feel? What pops up for you? 8 of Swords. Interesting to have it end here. I like it though, because I like what's coming to me as I'm holding it up. Words are interesting right now. But the 8 of Swords comes up. So how does that make you feel? What pops up when you think of the 8 of Swords? What do you notice? What do you notice? Okay. And if you look at it, the 8 of Swords is also bondage. Okay, I like that. So bondage in regards to what? We have the Knight of Wands before it. We have the 9 of Cups before it. So what kind of bondage? What kind of restriction are we looking at? That's great. That's really good. I like that. I like it because, again, if you look at the card, she can't see, obviously. She's, bondaged. You know what I'm trying to say. Sugar. She can't see, right? She's still looking back though. Her body language is kind of towards the left of the cards, which is back towards the Knight of Wands, back towards the 9 of Cups. Getting in our own way. Absolutely. Yes, I like that as well. So if you look back, it's kind of a warning. I hate the word warning because, like, oh, fear. There's no fear. It's more of a cautionary expression, I guess we can say. I really like that because a faint 3 pulsed in my head, then a strong one that says, girl, this auto text is not your friend today. To me, that I have the power to unbind myself using the strength of the 9 of Cups. Yes, absolutely. So if you look at it, the 8 of Swords is looking back, and yes, all kind of tied up, but there's so many swords around her. She can free herself. She has the power to free herself. But, and you can see the water's a little dried up, right? Yeah. And so we realize, like, look, this is self-inflicted. This can be self-inflicted. it could be like the emotional stuff that's coming up for us right now. We don't want to see. We don't want to see. And maybe I don't want to look at myself and realize I'm being a little too arrogant or cocky or whatever. Maybe I don't want to see that about myself, but I know it, but I don't want to see it. And so I use the Eight of Cups to like hide myself. Like, I don't want to deal with this right now. So this is that sort of like, again, cautionary warning. Like, look, these are necessary experiences for us to progress through. These are necessary situations for us to have. And so, yes, it's not always going to be pretty, but there is something absolutely beautiful in ugly, in the hideous, and what we think of as gross, right? There's something absolutely gorgeous about that. And so, even about ourselves, especially about ourselves. So we look at the things that we don't want to really confront, but we know we need to, and we accept them. We look at them and we're like, okay, this is information for me. This is who I am, or this is who I was. This is what I was creating. I'm okay with that because I am no longer the same person, and I am choosing based on this information that I have about myself and how I was experiencing life. I can now choose differently. But that doesn't mean I'm hiding from these past experiences. It means that I have them. I had them. They are information. They are a part of my story, but they are not a dominant part of my story because I'm now creating a different story, not by hiding or denying this aspect of myself or my situation, but by embracing it and by freeing myself to be able to witness it. And as I witness it, I am able to change it. Does that make sense? So looking back to me is don't live in the past, time to move forward. Yes. Reconnect with my emotions, remember and embrace who I am. Yes, because honestly, if we don't look back and we don't channel those emotions that are really great for us and the things that are cool, and we don't look at our life as an adventure, it's boring. It can be very boring, and it can dry up. It can be very stale. And that's not fun. We don't want to be boring. We don't want to be dull. We don't want to feel powerless. And we don't want to feel like I don't know what's going on in my life. That's not true in this case. The Eight of Swords is a reminder like, look, we are feeling powerless in whatever situation is because of our own doing. We have the power to alter our life, to alter the choices that we make. We have the power to not limit ourselves and to become limitless and to expand upon who we really are, what matters to us, and to focus on things in a different way that bring about joy, that bring about happiness, that bring about acceptance, that look at the most ugly bits of ourselves and we can see them and we can say, you know what, that was fun. I was a right bitch in that moment. I was a terrible cunt to that person. And you know what? I will admit I enjoyed it. I loved it because it made me feel some type of way. Not the best, like I look back now and I'm like, okay, well, I don't like making people feel that way. I don't want to make people feel that way. But in that moment, I did. And that moment, I retaliated. In that moment, I reacted and I gave them what they wanted and I became that villain to their story. And it felt really good. It felt awesome. It felt awesome. And I accept that about myself. I accept that about my story. I became that person that they needed. I became that person that I needed in that moment. And I'm not going to judge it. I'm not going to judge that experience. I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, so I'm not going to, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to put a light on it. I'm going to learn from it and appreciate it and have gratitude for it because, again, that was a part of my story, right? That's a part of growth, learning, experiencing. It was quite adventurous too. Like hoops came down, the bitch came out, and I'm okay with that. Like for the longest time, I didn't want to see myself in a negative light. For the longest time, I didn't want to look at myself and look at how maybe I was a a bad person, or I was not a good person, or I was toxic in relationships. I didn't want to see that. But with the Eight of Swords, it's like, you know what? I don't want to live that anymore. I don't want to live the Eight of Swords. I want to free myself from that. And so I get to have this wonderful opportunity to look at myself and see all of these amazing, terrible things about myself in the varying stages of my life. And I'm like, okay, I see it and I'm okay with it. I'm creating with that information now. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Does the Eight of Swords come across? Does that, I'm just want to make sure that I'm making sense and not just like rambling. So yeah, I like it. I really like that. Yes, okay. So yes, today's cards are reminding us that we are beautiful no matter what, that our emotions are extremely important, that it's important for us not to get too cocky, not to be arrogant, but to be assertive in our life and to channel our adventure. And if we want to know what to work on, pay attention to what we're feeling restless about in our life and go, head on with that, and know that when we do the work, we will free ourselves from the chains we have placed upon ourselves, right? No one has power over us. We get to decide what we invest in. We get to decide the power that we have, and no one can take that from us. We place restriction upon ourselves. We place limitless energy upon ourselves. We step into that power. We step into our power, our authenticity, our beauty. We get to have these experiences, and all life experience is an adventure. It's all fun, and look to appreciate every aspect of who we are and every aspect of who we have created ourselves to be. We don't have to deny any experience that we've endured, any experience that we've lived and we've been through or we create. Okay? So these are the cards of our day. I hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification because that will let you know when a new video pops up. I do have regular videos on Sundays and Wednesdays, but I also upload stuff throughout the week, and I've been doing daily energy readings, which I hope that you're enjoying. I pay attention to like astrological stuff, not just astrological stuff, but I listen to spirit. I channel some stuff. I put it all together in something that I think will be beneficial to everybody. And I hope that you can utilize it and enjoy it. But definitely always feel free that you can communicate with me, comment on my stuff, and let me know if you want me to do a video on anything specific. If I can, I will. But I am here to be of service. I love what I do, and I love sharing with you, and really do appreciate your time. It makes me happy being able to communicate with you and to do this. It's fun. So yes, thank you. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Blessed be.